Hi there, welcome to another Experia Ireland training video. Just going to very quickly go through some features of PowerPoint that you guys may find useful. I know a lot of teachers and so on use PowerPoint day to day in the classroom, and hopefully this will allow you to extend the classroom into the mile. So the main things we're going to show you are things you may already know. I'm not going to go through all of PowerPoint because I'm sure you guys, a lot of you know how to use it better than I do. The main things I want to show you is transitions and timings. So if we export a video file from PowerPoint, normally what it will do is just make the slides all the same timing. So I've just got a demo little PowerPoint that I'm going to show you guys on with, let me see, 11 slides. So as standard, if I exported this as a video, all 11 slides would be 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. The main point is that all the slides are the same length, and that's not really what we want. So just going to start off with the navigation of PowerPoint. So you may have a different version, but they all look pretty much similar. And we've got our slides down the left hand side, and we've got a preview of that slide on the main window. The thing I just want to concentrate on first of all is transitions. Any of these things you click in here applies to the slide that you've got selected on the left. So if I click the first slide, I'm going to say I want this slide to fade in. So I click that, and you can see it previews what the fade looks like. I'm going to say I want this one to cut in. This one I want to wipe in from the side, and it gives you a preview. The only reason I'm showing you that is if you're running this as a video on Room Director, you may want a nice transition rather than just cut from slide to slide. You don't have to do all these fancy ones. What you can do is pick just one fade, for example, and click apply to all, and then every single slide is going to just fade from slide to slide, and it makes a nicer transition. So the main thing in this video I want to show you is how to first of all export the video. So if I go to file, and you can see we've got the option for export down at the bottom left here, we just click on that. There's several options in here. You can outport as a PDF. We don't want to do that, and as a CD and so on. What we want to do is create a video from this PowerPoint. If I click on that, I just want to show you a couple of things in here. So for a start, it's asking you for the file quality. Now this will depend on the machine that you're using. So my monitors are 1920 by 1080. This is bringing it down to 1440 by 1080, and that's because that's what it was created on the other person's computer that made this. You always do want to go for the highest quality possible, so you just pick that. This next one is important. So it's saying use recorded timings and narrations, or don't use them. So if I said don't use them, you can see the seconds spent on each slide is down here. And what that simply means, if I set that to 10 and clicked create video, it would create a video and each slide is 10 seconds long. That's not what we want to do because, well, sometimes it might be what you want to do, so the option's there. But most of the times we'll want to personalize what happens in the presentation. So if I go back to home, if I go back to the main screen, what we actually want to go to is the slideshow tab. And in the slideshow tab, this is where we have all the timing controls. So what we basically want to do is we want to rehearse the scenario and what we're going to do in it. So if we click this, what happens? You can see we've got a dialogue at the top left saying it's recording. So it's recording everything that we're doing now. And we've got a count. So we have two counters. One is for per slide, and the other is for total duration. So in this, we're going to say, I want the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf to be on for 20 seconds. And then I click. Transitions to the second slide. You can see our timer still going for the total duration, and this one is now on for this slide. Now you can see there's stuff missing here, and that's because these texts have been pre-selected for animation. So if I click again, click again, click again, click again, and finally the big wild wolf will appear. So each click is going for a step, and this is recording time live, so the speed that you click these are the speed that you will get in the end. So it's a good idea to have this predetermined in your mind, or have a good idea of what you're wanting to do. We go to the next slide. You can see we've just got one thing to appear in this slide. So you can say you're going to give yourself time to talk through with the users: straw, stick, brick, blow, hair, chin, kettle, chimney, crawl, and hole. So you would say maybe you give yourself 30 seconds to spend on this. And you can see the count going up on the left hand side. Then we click again. Once upon a time there were 3 little pigs, but the time had come for them to leave home and seek their fortunes. Before they left, their mother told them, "Whatever you do, do it the best that you can, because that's the way to get along in the world." So that's taken me about 15 seconds. I would maybe stretch it to 20. And we click. The first little pig built his house out of straw because it was the easiest thing to do. The second little pig built his house out of sticks. It was a little stronger than the house of straw. The third little pig built his house out of bricks. It was stronger than the house of straw and the house of sticks. Again, that was about 15 seconds. Run it up to 20. You could run it up to 30 because maybe you'd want time to discuss with the kids. Click to the next one. One night the big bad wolf, who dearly loved to eat fat little piggies, came along and saw the first little pig in his house full of straw. He said, let me in, and so on. I'm not going to read it all out, but you just give yourself time. It's up to you guys what timings you want on this. I'm going to say 20 seconds again. Click to the next one. Again, we've got more dialogue for the house made of sticks. I'm going to click to the next one now. We'll give this one 10 seconds as well. And the next slide. So I'm not doing this, accurately. I'm just doing it to demonstrate to you guys. And then we have one at the end, and I would suggest maybe you run this one a little longer because maybe you want to have time to discuss with the students or whatever you guys want to do. So you could maybe run this for up to a minute or whatever you want. Whatever you save this as is what it's going to save it as. So we're just going to click, say, after 30 seconds for this one. And there we go. So we're back to... Oh, sorry. Tell a lie, we're not. This is an extra slide where it's got these jumbled up without the words in. So we get to the end. It says the total time for your slideshow was 3 minutes 58 seconds. Do you want to save the new slide timings? And you're going to say, if you're happy with them, you're going to say yes. So that has saved the slide timings now. And what that means, when we go back to File, Export, Create Video, under this we can say use recorded timings and narrations. It will ignore this value and it will put the ones in that we want. So we click Create Video. I'm going to call it 3 Little Pigs Presentation. We'll save that to the desktop. And we click Save. Depending on the speed of your computer, the graphics card and so on, this can take a little while. The progress bar is at the bottom here. Again, obviously this depends on the length of the presentation. One thing to note, just whilst we're waiting for this to do its stuff, is these presentations work perfectly with wait on triggers. So yes, you've made the part of the presentation 30 seconds long, but you could put a wait on trigger at the end of that, so you can hold it going on to the next slide even longer if you wanted to have a discussion, to ask questions, for the kids to ask questions, kids or adults to ask questions, and that gives you an extra layer of control. The other thing that you can do with this is we're creating an MPEG video. Now, this has no sound in it. You can put sound inside of PowerPoint. Sorry. So whilst we're waiting for this to do its thing, just another thing to note is you can also use your wait on triggers in conjunction with these slide timings. So for example, you at the end of slide 3 you wanted the kids to ask questions, or you wanted to ask them questions and so on. You could put a wait on trigger just before the end of the slide, literally just before the end, and room director will stop there, and then when you're ready or the children are ready, or you can pose a question in the slide. There's so many different ways you can do it, but you can use it in conjunction. This doesn't have to be a passive scenario. The other thing to add is we're creating an MPEG video. Now, in PowerPoint, there's loads of ways to add sounds and videos and stuff. I'm not going to show you any of those things because you guys, as I say, probably know how to do that already. The main thing I wanted to show you was the slide timings. The last thing I just want you to note is this is an MPEG video, so you can put it into a video editor. You can do whatever you want with it. You can add speech in the video editor. You can add music, sound effects, whatever you want to do. You can do it in there, and just treat it like a normal video. Okay, and when that's finished, what we're left with is a normal MP4 video with our timings. No sound, as I discussed, but just as we made it. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. If not, leave a comment down below, and good luck. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks now.